Spain, Japan.
Here's some open and candid feedback.
All right, Rodent Sports is back, and I am taking what we would call in the legislative realm a point of personal privilege, because I'm going to talk about my favorite football team, the Washington Commanders. And last weekend, when San Francisco beat the Miami Dolphins, who at the time were leading the division in the AFC East, with Brock Purdy coming in for an injured Jimmy Garoppolo. Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick of the draft. And he came in, played well, 49ers won and beat them to keep their run going towards a division championship and maybe even the number 2 seed in the NFC. And I just casually made the point on Twitter that look at the 49ers winning with Brock Purdy, but I'm told and other people are told that Sam Howell, he's not ready. Washington can't get him ready. They can't throw him out there. It's throwing a white flag up on the season. And the pushback on Twitter was substantial. And I'm going to congratulate most of those people for missing the point entirely. Because the point is this, first and foremost. The notion that you can't run a 5th-round rookie quarterback out in the NFL and you've got no chance to win is balderdash. It's nonsense. Do I need to go down the list? Why? Well, let me do so. Because we're not only living in a world where Brock Purdy just beat one of the best teams in the AFC, coming in off the bench.
Will you make up your mind?
We're living in a world where Bailey Zappi, also drafted in round 7 of this past draft, won games for New England, and New England doesn't have a fraction of the talent on offense that Washington does.
All powerful.
Washington's 3rd best receiver, Jahan Dotson, a rookie, is better than any receiver New England's got. And Washington's running backs are probably better than their running backs too, although that might be a debate when Damian Harris is healthy. But oh no, we can't play Sam Howell, and all those situations are different. Well, let's think about a situation that's kind of similar. A few years back, 2016, Dallas had Tony Romo, who got hurt in preseason. And who did they turn to? A 4th-round quarterback drafted that year by the name of Dak Prescott. And you know what I didn't hear when that happened? I didn't hear Dallas fans saying, oh, we've thrown the season away. Oh, we're not going to win. We got no chance. They went 13-3. And Dak Prescott was the rookie of the year on offense. And had their defense been any sort of good, they might very well have gone to the Super Bowl. They didn't. They lost to the Packers in the divisional. And you can go through all sorts of other ones. Gardner Minshew, picked in round 6, I think in 2018. Went 6-8 as a starter for the Jaguars. Not somebody actually good, the Jacksonville flippin' Jaguars.
Jaguars games are the only ones televised in the bad place because they suck!
Give me a break, you dumbass.
Ryan Fitzpatrick came off the bench as a rookie, as a 7th-round rookie to win when he was with the St. Louis Rams. And he went to Harvard, for God's sakes.
That's just pretentious.
Sam Howell was picked in round 5 out of North Carolina. Had he gone into the draft the previous year, he probably would have been picked in round 1. So let's start there. He's not your typical 5th-round quarterback. And here's a big difference between him and Taylor Heineke and Carson Wentz. Unlike Carson Wentz, he will actually use his legs to make plays. And unlike Taylor Heineke, he can actually throw the ball downfield with some precision and accuracy and actually lead receivers. But this is the thing that gets me. It's these fans sitting here saying, oh, we're winning all these games with Taylor Heineke and the locker room loves him. I'm sure the locker room loves his guts and moxie, but I'm also sure that the locker room's professional enough that if Hal gets out there and he shows them something, they'll get behind him too. Now, let's talk about Taylor Heineke. I'm so exercised about all this because I just watched Washington tie the Giants 20-20 up in New York, where they scored on 3 of their first 4 possessions. They had a 10-0 lead, and then they proceeded to do bubkiss for 2.5 quarters until Heineke leads another one of these clutch miracle drives he seems to lead after playing bad. 90-yard drive to tie the game with a touchdown, including this unbelievable play on 4th and 4, where he has to scramble out of the pocket, throws a ball from like the side of his body, and he floats it up there, and somehow it lands in the arms of Curtis Samuel. And everybody talks about that. Oh, what a great drive in the fourth quarter. Just like some of the other clutch plays he's made in the fourth quarter. Never mind the rest of the game, he's been terrible. It was a tie. The Giants and Washington tied last week.
Tie?
Yes, they tied.
Like in soccer?
No, yeah, well, kind of like that. They played the whole overtime and nobody could score. 20-20, that's it. I don't want to talk about that any further because that's annoying enough as it is. This is Taylor Heineke in 7 starts. He's got an 86.3 passer rating. That's only 2 points better than Carson Wentz, who the people that love Taylor Heineke say, oh, you can't put Wentz back in. He'll get killed behind this offensive line. That is actually true. It is worse than Marcus Mariota, who just got benched for a rookie. It's worse than Mac Jones, who should be benched for a rookie. His yards per pass attempt is worse than Russell Wilson, who is having the most awful year of his career by a long way. Heineke is mediocre. That's what he is.
You make me sick.
When they had the 4-game winning streak last year, they leaned on the run, they possessed the ball more than anybody else, and that got exposed eventually. And this is the same quarterback who threw 1 touchdown versus 3 interceptions and played 2 horrible games against the Dallas Cowboys as the season went down the drain last year, including the one in Dallas where they lost 56 to whatever the hell it was. And you're telling me that I have to accept that. Oh, we can't play the rookie. No, we can't play Sam Howell. It's going to be a disaster. Heineke is a bottom half of the table quarterback. In yards per pass attempt, in passer rating, in yards per game, he's averaging barely over 200 yards per game. This is in the easiest passing era in football. 200 yards per game is nothing. It is nothing. And you're telling me we cannot put Sam Howell in the game. We certainly can't put Carson Wentz back in. $28 million bust that he is. We're waving goodbye to him when this season is over. Fine. You don't want to put him back in there because this offensive line is wretched and he's going to get killed? I'll buy that.
Chickens don't look like dogs.
And if you're going to continue to make the argument, oh, the locker room's, he's going to lose the locker room if he plays Howell, I don't agree with it, but that's at least one. But don't tell me a rookie quarterback can't play and win. When we're living in a world where Brock Purdy and Bailey Zappi exist, where Dak Prescott's been on my TV killing Washington for how many years, and he was a rookie who started from game 1, and he was a 4th round pick, so he wasn't even picked in round 1. This fan base is broken. As is this franchise, but this fan base has been broken by 30 years of crap. And now they accept mediocrity. They accept if it's a player they like, or it's a great story, or the media loves him, or whatever it is. You know, he does a cool dance, or he does something cool like buy the shoes of the team that he's just beat, the color of the shoes of the teams he's just beat, like Heineke does. They just, oh, that's wonderful.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I don't want to accept this. And you know why? Because the NFC's wide open. Washington, even with Heineke, managed to beat the team that's probably going to be the number 1 seed in the NFC, Philadelphia. This defense is elite. That's what y'all tell me. And largely, I agree with you. We've got the best collection of skill position players on offense that we've had, since the Brad Johnson era, probably, 20 plus years ago. We can actually do something in the NFC this year. And I'm not going to accept that Taylor Heineke is the best chance to win when I have enough evidence that he is a mediocre quarterback. And I'm certainly not going to accept Carson Wentz going back in there because we know he can't do it. And we're saying goodbye to him. So why can't we give Sam Howell a chance? Yes, it may be a disaster. He may look every bit the 5th round quarterback that he is. And if that's the case, fine. I can live with that. At least I'll know. And at least I'll have a plan for next off season when we're going to try to figure out what we're going to do with the quarterback position again. What I cannot stand are the people that say, thank you, sir, let me have another, to half-assed, no good quarterback play. Oh, but he's made all these clutch plays. Well, let's take a look at 2 of those clutch plays. The moon ball against Green Bay should have been intercepted. Terry McLaurin just outfought Jair Alexander to get that ball. That's intercepted. They're probably losing the game because they're going to put the Packers back out there with 2 minutes to go. They only need a field goal to win. And then, of course, in Indianapolis, He throws that ball up, and Stephon Gilmore has 2 hands on it. It is going to be an interception. We are going to lose to a 7th-round quarterback on the other side. And Terry McLaurin just took it away from him and took his manhood with it. And that saved the game for them. And that's the thing. This team is just as close to being a 2 or 3 win team as it is to being an 8 or 9 win team. Because you'll tell me, oh, we should have beat Tennessee and we should have won this other game too. And that's fine. We have been skating by the hair on our chinny chin in so many games. I don't want to hear it. Atlanta, doggone Deron Payne gets his big left hand up and deflects the ball, and it gets intercepted on the goal line. Atlanta's 2 yards away from winning the game. All these other things. We're not winning because Heineke's good. We're winning because he's a gamer and he's clutch. Never mind the middle 2 quarters of the game where he usually doesn't do anything. And Washington is struggling. It's not good enough. And the fact is, you Heineke people know it's not. But you're going to sit here and buy it because you like him. You know, he was on his couch taking grad classes at ODU, and he comes off and plays in the playoff game against Tampa and plays so great. We still lose, but that's okay. And all this other stuff, and you're just buying that underdog story. He's our guy. It's BS. You're broken. We've all been broken to a degree by this. 30 years of absolutely terrible football has broken us all.
Why throw away your life so recklessly?
But we do not have to accept this. So you know what? Fine. We'll see Heineke against the Giants again after the bye. And if he stinks it up on prime time, which is not unusual, and they lose, you all better be very quiet. And if we play the 49ers in the following week on a short week, and we're playing Mr. Irrelevant, and we lose to them, enough. And heck, you want to throw the season away, keep doing what you're doing. You're defending the status quo. You're defending this coaching staff that stinks. This offensive coordinator who is terrible. And yes, I know what you're going to say. Well, if he's so terrible, why do you want to play the rookie? Because at least the rookie can make all the throws. And at least the rookie might be able to run all the plays. This guy, Scott Turner, has coached Taylor Heineke in 3 different places and has coached him for 6 years now and still won't use the whole playbook with him because he knows he can't do it. He knows that if he throws the ball down the field, like against Minnesota, it's going to be a moon ball that 2 or 3 guys have a chance to intercept. And by the way, Heineke's been getting away with it. He's thrown so many passes that should have been intercepted. It's just living proof that, once again, there's a reason there's players on defense. It's because he can't catch. And the one time they did, Minnesota, what happened? Intercepted, run back almost for a touchdown, lose the ball game. And there's your only loss during the Taylor Heineke era that we're in now. He's 5-1-1. Ain't because of him. It's because of his defense. It's because we're running the football. It's because, let's be honest, we've been extraordinarily fortunate in a bunch of games. And yes, he's made a few clutch plays here and there. A few clutch plays doesn't cut it for me. Give me somebody that at least lets me think I've got a chance. And yes, Sam Howell is that person. I watch a lot of what Redskins content creation and Commanders content creation, on YouTube. I do. When I'm working, I like to listen to them. And you know what they all said during training camp? Sam Howell was the best looking quarterback. To a man and a woman. They were all saying, look at how good Sam Howell looks. He looks better than Wentz and he looks better than Heineke. But we can't play Sam Howell. And we can't play him late in the year. Golly. I almost forgot. Tony Dungy for me won this argument completely because he pointed this out. And I remember this, and I'm going to bring up something that's going to make every Commanders Redskins fan blood curl. He went with a rookie in December when he had a really good team in 1996. That rookie was Sean King. They got to the NFC Championship. Sean King threw the game-winning touchdown pass in that game against these guys. Remember that? And they almost won the NFC that year. They came this close to beating the greatest show on turf and stopping them from winning the Super Bowl. And actually, I got my year wrong. It's 1999, not 1996. So if Tony Dungy, who should be in the Hall of Fame and who ended up winning the Super Bowl with the Colts, could play Sean King with that great defense that they had and with that kind of contending team that they had and nearly go to the Super Bowl, Washington can play Sam Howell. Enough of the defense of Taylor Heineke. Enough of the people saying you can't play a rookie in this situation because you're giving up. You are carrying the water of Scott Turner on this terrible coaching staff when you say that, and you got to quit doing that because it's garbage.
Was Tom Brady a rookie when he
No, it was second year.
It was his second year.
It was second year. That's why I didn't bring him up.
Are they?
Why I didn't bring him up?
Do you think they're gonna try and save him for next year?
I mean, that's what a lot of people are saying. And look, if my concern is they're going to bring Heineke back. No. And even if Howell outplays him, the fans are going to want Heineke next year. Like if Howell outplays him in the training camp, is what I'm saying, in preseason. If it's an open quarterback competition and it really is open, I would expect Sam Howell to win it next year. And if he doesn't, then Sam Howell was a bad pick even at round 5. He was a waste. Ugh, good. I'm glad I got that off my chest. Jesus. It was pissing me off all week.
Dude,
I got some major pushback on Twitter too, and all these people missed the point.
I bet. But, if you got a rookie and he's young and he's fresh and he's dynamic and he's making passes and he's...
Well, again, he played the last preseason game against the Ravens, and that wouldn't matter to most people except the Ravens have a 7-year streak of not losing in the preseason, and they take preseason very seriously. He played great, and they almost beat the Ravens. And he was fun to watch. And I remember that day on social media, on Twitter, the most fun I've seen Commanders fans have in a preseason game, and I don't know when. People were just loving it and losing their mind over it on Twitter. And again, Twitter's a small sample size. But we were all having fun watching that. And now here we are. That was August. This is December. You can't play him.
Look again.
Bullshit. It's bullshit. And it pisses me off.
It's that thing you love. Look again.
Because they're just accepting this. And like I say, Heineke is due for like a 4 or 5 interception game.
That's it. We're done, right?